Am I now live? Or telling your followers? Okay. Oh, typical. Hi, hello. How's everybody? Who's coming? Who's here with me today? We're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, which is Andre's here. Hello, Andre. We're going to be talking about my favorite topic, which is subconscious beliefs and subconscious blocks and limiting beliefs. And hi, Adi. Adriana's here. Hello, everyone. So, quick question for the people who joined me today. Who have heard about limiting beliefs and subconscious blocks? Let me know. I have a sippy. Okay. No one's telling me anything, so that's fine. I assume because you're on my profile, you probably have heard about it because I talk about it a lot. So basically, we're going to dive deep into what those, hello everybody who's joining, subconscious blocks and limiting beliefs are and how they shape your love life. Why do they make your love life suck big time? And then in the end, hi Gina. And then in the end, how do you deal with them? Hi, is it Miles? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Hello. You've heard about it as well. Cool, so let's dive deep. Hi Gina. I'm going to share my story first, and I've shared it here before on my story, so it's not like a big reveal. But basically, one of my stories is that I grew up without a dad. So my parents split up when I was a baby, and basically my dad would visit every now and then. It wasn't like a regular thing. We never had a relationship, and as I was a teenager, I was like, I will never, ever date anybody like my father. I want someone else. I want someone who will love me, blah, blah, blah. Typical, right? And then as I was going through life, I would keep meeting people, obviously, on the surface, good guys, but it would always end up with them abandoning me one way or another. Whether it would be having, I don't know. No, I was never cheated on, thank God. But I was never a priority. I would always be a plan B. There was always other better things to do than hanging out with me. And it actually hit me pretty late that despite me trying to find someone else, I would exactly find someone like my dad. And this is how subconscious blocks and beliefs work. Because on the surface, we all want a good love, right? We all want someone who will love us, who will accept us. Then why on earth are we keeping to choose, bad guys or bad girls? Although no one's bad. Anyways, so that's my backstory. For those who are interested, I have some notes here. Okay, so let's get down to basics. Everything you see in your life, like every single thing, the job you have, the house you live in, the city you live in, the people you meet, every single thing is dependable on what you think to be true about the world and yourself. And those things are shaped basically when we're kids. So picture this. You're a baby. You're born and you're beautiful, chubby little baby. And you come to this world and you have no idea about how the world works. So you can rely only on your parents for survival. And then as you grow up a little bit, you start comparing yourself to other kids, or maybe you're being compared to other kids. And you start learning how relationship works by observing your parents. So for example, if your parents have a loving relationship, you have that picture in your head of relationship can be happy and healthy. And then if your parents, for example, split up, or if your father's gone, or if they're fighting, like this is what you absorb like a little sponge, This is what you learn about the world around you. And it goes about everything. It goes about money, it goes about jobs. But because we're focusing here on dating and relationships, this is where it all starts. So there are two things, good thing and a bad thing about it. So the good thing is that you are 100%, hi Claudia, that you are 100% responsible for how your life looks like right now. 100%. You have to take the accountability for it. And that's great, because in this very moment, you can just change it. You can decide that from this moment onward, I'm going to be making different decisions. Now, the bad thing about it is that it's 100% up to you. So once you kind of learn it, you can't blame other people. You have to just take accountability again and be responsible for your life. So that's it. Repeating the same story. So then you have you're the baby, a kid, you grow up and you start comparing yourself to other kids. Maybe some are better at maths, maybe some are prettier, and you kind of shape this. This is how it's shaping what you think about the world. So let's say, and in a good way, in a bad way. So for example, let's say that your parents love you, give you unconditional love. You grow up in this super healthy, steady home. So you feel like you're loving yourself, first of all, and you kind of anticipate that from other people to love you. But if you were less fortunate, if you were told that you're not good enough, or that maybe you have to behave a certain way, and that's a super common theme, it's about being a good girl or a good boy. You know, we're getting praise from our parents when we're acting a certain way, and then you kind of carry that to your adult life. You believe that you need to be polite. I mean, it's always good to be polite, but you believe that in order to receive love, you have to act a certain way. And this is where you start putting other people in front of yourself. And that happens super often. So like if that's your case, don't worry. Most people are struggling with it. But yeah, this is basically how it works. And then as we grow up, you start meeting people, and that this behavior is being reinforced. So let's get back to the example of a emotionally or physically absent father, right? So the dad doesn't necessarily have to be like physically gone, but he doesn't know how to express emotions. You don't get the attention you need. So you kind of learn, and you carry that you have to earn your father's love, or that you have to be a certain way, or that love is, you know, that, especially for girls, that the love that we receive from our parents is conditional. So then you carry it through life. You meet your first boyfriend, I don't know, high school, and you kind of see that same, you know, it's like, oh, this guy wasn't perfect, but it reinforced that belief within you that love has to be earned, that you are not good enough. And it varies from people to people, from person to person. But this is basically the theme. And then you're in your 20s and you're in your 30s, and maybe you get married, and you get married to the wrong person. And then you're asking yourself, like, why does this happening to me? Why do I keep meeting people that don't make me a priority? Why do I keep meeting people that don't treat me the way I deserve? And the trick is, like, it's not that you keep meeting these people, you're subconsciously choosing these people. And it's again, a super common theme, like, why am I not attracted to the nice guys? Because when you meet bad guy, so someone who gives you the excitement, the adrenaline, you know, the butterflies, this is actually a wound from your childhood triggered. This is the same kind of relationship you're seeking, because you think that this time you couldn't heal, you couldn't get the love from your dad, so maybe this time you get it from this bad guy, and you do everything right, and then you ask yourself, like, why am I attracting this bad type of people? So how does the brain works as well? So speaking of limiting beliefs, so let's say that you keep telling yourself that dating is hard, okay, or that dating apps suck, or that all women want is money. I see it so often, especially when I post on TikTok. And it's like, oh, women all they want is money, and stuff like that. All guys want is just one thing. Like, guys don't want to commit. Why they never text? And the truth is that once this super deeply ingrained belief is in your head, so it's not like you're consciously thinking about it, but once it's in your head, your brain like sieves out all the information that's not confirming that bias. It's called confirmation bias. So basically, what you already believe to be true, you find more proofs of. So for example, let's get all women want is money, right? Super common one. And then that's your belief. And you go through life, you scroll internet, and you will pick up the confirmation for that. So for example, an article or a comment or things like that, just reinforcing that belief that all women want is money. And you can see 10 articles that women actually want a healthy, steady relationship, but you just don't clock it, like poof, go. Because we always want to be right, and we always want to be, I'm just getting distracted with people who joined. So your brain always wants to be right, so it will find proofs for the things that it already believes to be true. Now, do you know any examples of limiting beliefs? Basically, those are the things that you keep repeating yourself that are stopping you from achieving great things. Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna have a sippy. Oh, I'm a bit out of breath. Whew. Let's see. Someone loved me. Thank you so much for the hearts. Appreciate it. Well, as you're typing, I have a list of you. So for me, it was I'm too ugly, but I'm really not. Of course you're not. I can't see your picture, darling. I'm sorry. But you're definitely not ugly. And that's a good one, actually. So do you know any examples of ugly, quote unquote, people in relationships? Possibly yes. Possibly yes. So the thing is, like, ugly people can get into relationships. Especially that you say that, I'm really not. There is one, like, I'm too old to find someone. I hear that a lot. Like, if you're in your 30s, for women, you're like, the clock is ticking. What if I will never find my person? What if it just I'm just too old? Just have to get 10 cats and live like this. Another is, like, guys only want one thing. Dating apps are awful. There must be something wrong with me. There must be something so fundamentally wrong with me that just nobody wants me. And you go through life, so you wake up, first thing, you don't think about it. You wake up, get ready for work, whatever. And then what happens is, like, it just keeps playing in the back of your head. Another one is relationships are hard and require constant sacrifice. Yeah, I thought that, yeah. So how it works. And I saw, it's a good video. I don't remember whose video it was. But it's a guy. He's talking about dating relationships. And there's a big audience. And he's asking this girl, like, hey girl, what's your name? And she's like, oh, I already told you my name. And she got really offended. She's got like, oh, you clearly don't hear about me, blah, blah, blah. She's playing, like, I don't want to say hard to get, because she got genuinely offended. And a good example is, he said, okay, so how it works. She deeply feels like she's not good enough, that she's not worth the attention. So it triggers her. It's like, she didn't remember my name. You know, what an asshole. But when someone would feel good about themselves, they'd be just like, oh, you forgot my name. It's Kinga, right? And the conversation would flow. So basically, once you've got that belief that there must be something wrong with me, you react accordingly. And that's really, really important, because a lot of people, when, for example, you're messaging someone and they don't reply in 2 hours, you're just like, it's probably because something's wrong with me. What if he doesn't like me? Did I say something wrong? And we just spiral, when probably the guy was just having a nap. And then you react to it, like, you never message me, blah, blah, blah. And like, this is the communication thing that we can tackle another time, but it's basically how what you think about it makes you react, and you're becoming a different person, and you're meeting different people. It's all kind of chained together. That's why it's super, super, super important to kind of work on those beliefs and what you believe to be true. Oh, I have a good example, and I have permission to talk about it, so I'm not just talking about clients' stories behind their back. There's a guy, and he is dating a lady who's in the middle of divorce, and the lady has a child, and he understands, but it really bothers him that she doesn't want to share their pictures on Facebook. And her reasoning is because she doesn't want the kid to be upset, she doesn't want to create drama, blah, 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 blah. Fair reasons, right? And the guy's like, why is she doing this to me? Why she doesn't want to share the story? Why she doesn't want to show me to the world? Why is she embarrassed of me? Like all these questions. But in fact, sorry, my mic is rubbing. But in fact, the thing is, like, why did you choose a person who cannot make you a priority? Like, it always comes down to you. So it's not about the other person, why he's ignoring me. Why did you choose a person who doesn't have time for you? Why are you choosing a person who's not treating you well, right? It's never about the other person, like never. But yeah, it's just about why are you choosing people that treat you a certain way? Why are you allowing it? Yeah, same. Choosing partners that don't treat us well. Instead of setting a boundary and saying like, no. I deserve respect. I deserve this and this and this. I'm reasonable. Instead, we're going the extra mile to please. Like maybe this time, maybe if I try a bit harder, maybe if I look better, maybe if I'm fitter, that person will eventually love me. And it's never the case, unfortunately. Or some people obviously just going straight for the red flags because this is what we find attractive. I'm gonna date that guy that cannot give me anything. I do have solution. If you wait, actually, I have a solution in a minute. I just want to ask a question. If you think subconscious beliefs might be impacting your love life, type yes in the chat. That's my interacting with you guys. Sorry for the cough. I'm still recovering from COVID. Kevin, it's good to see you, Kevin. We've got Canada here. Crazy o'clock, I guess, in Canada. Andre, yes. I'm gonna lead you into a secret. It's yes for everybody who's watching this. Advantina, yes. Of course, it always does. So let's get down to solutions. So once you have the limiting beliefs, right? And good. Sorry, hello, good to see you. Yes, Claudia, yes, we have Warsaw, Poland represent. Anyways, so sorry, got distracted. It's so good to see you guys all live. Like honestly, like I know you all from this or from other sources, but it's really, really cool to have you here with me right now. So good way to find your limiting beliefs is you take a piece of paper, and I've got a piece of paper here, and you write down a topic. So let's say dating, right? I'm just going to write it down, dating, in the middle of it. Can you see it? And then around it, you write all the things that pop in your head within that topic. So dating, hard, boring, difficult, only ugly people left, or only unattractive people left. Like all those things, all the things that pop to your head about dating, and all those things that are not helping you are the negative limiting beliefs. So once you identify that, so sorry, there are a few ways to deal with it. Journaling, number one, good old journaling. So basically sit down, write down like how did my childhood look like? What did I see around the house about love, about dating, about other people, about relationships? And then you can kind of start seeing these patterns. Inner child work, my favorite, always reconnect with the inner child. So the thing is that until you kind of do the work, it's the inner child who drives all your interactions. Sorry, getting distracted with people again joining. So it's that inner child who drives all your interactions. It's that little girl who didn't get a love from her dad, who wants to find that love and attention through different ways. Sometimes by, sleeping with people. Sometimes by just going the extra mile. All that little girl wants is the love and attention that she didn't receive as a baby, as a kid, as a child. Or this little boy who's going into toxic relationships, all he wants to be is to be seen and recognized and loved for who he is. So until you kind of reconnect with that child, allow yourself to, like I always keep repeating, like allow yourself to feel these things, because thinking about it, the word I kind of pronounce, intellectualizing it is not enough. You always have to kind of let yourself feel it. And process the emotions. So that's the inner child work. You can do it through meditation as well. And there's a really good thing for all the limiting beliefs. It's 4 questions. It's 4 questions by Byron Katie. And obviously I didn't write them down, so I'm just going to improvise. But basically, let's take, I've got one. So let's take a limiting belief, a limiting block. I'm too ugly for dating, right? So the first question you ask yourself, is this true? And you can, well, objectively, not really. Well, different people find different things attractive. So objectively, I'm not, hi Leo. So objectively, I'm not necessarily ugly. The second question is, do I know that this is absolutely true? So it's like a second confirmation. It's like, no, I don't know it, right? And you keep journaling, keep writing about it. Third question is, what kind of person I am? How do I act and react when I believe this thing to be true? So, for example, if I think I'm ugly, I'm not going out to see people, I'm not approaching women, I'm not showing up the way I'd like to be showing up, all these things. I don't work out because if I'm ugly, what's the point? And then the last question is, who would I be without this belief? And then again, I'd be maybe more confident, maybe more outgoing, maybe more out there. Maybe I would, I don't know, become an actor, maybe I would go live on Instagram. And you can basically, I'm going to pop those questions in the description because they're super, super good. So is this true? Is this absolutely, absolutely true? Who would I know? How do I act when I believe to be true? And who would I be without it? So basically, these are the solutions. And again, it's not like a one-day thing that you just, that's poof, gone. The funny and annoying thing is that you're going to face that problem over and over and over. And I like to share the lighthouse metaphor. So you encounter a problem when you're at the bottom, right? And you see it as a pretty big problem. And then you work on yourself and you do all the work, blah, blah, blah. And you kind of like go up a lighthouse and you encounter the problem again. And you're like, oh, this same problem. I thought I'm healed. But you have the knowledge. So you see the problem seems smaller. And then you work on yourself again. And again, the same problem. But you see it from a different perspective. So when you're starting, it just seems big and overwhelming and like crazy, like, oh, I can't do it. But then as you keep working on it, you're going to see it again. The universe is going to test you, but you're going to feel more confident and different about it. And it's always about how you react to situation. Are you going to get triggered? Are you going to allow yourself to fall back into the old space? That's how it works. Do you have any questions? Pop a question if you have a question. I want to have a sippy. Oh, so out of breath. I never rewatch The Liars because I'm just like, oh, this is so cringe. Do I really look like that? Do I really sound like that? The sad truth is, yes, I do look like that. So sorry. If you're not having... You're amazing. You are amazing, Leo. Thank you so much. I love every single one of you. Oh, I'm going to give you a good example of a supporting belief. So at some point, I decided that I only work with amazing people and all my followers are amazing. Because when I started posting, especially on TikTok, I would get so much crap. I'd get like, oh, they're wrong. What do you know? Never listen to a woman coach telling men what to do. It was like, never listen to a fish teaching you how to fish or something like this. I'm like, oh, awful. Why am I attracting this kind of negativity? So at some point I decided in my head that the people that surround me in live and virtually are just the best of the best. So you are the best of the best. And I still get a comment, like negative comment, but I'm like, doesn't matter. Go in a bin where you belong, So you can also choose what you believe to be true. And then no questions. Well, I'm going to end it then. So as I said, there are a few ways to do it. You can obviously do it yourself. There's so much free resource online. Books and podcasts and stuff like that. I'm really, really happy. In terms of attractiveness, what women seek, which factors make you instantly attractive? Women love confidence. We do love confidence. I'm going to do another live about the masculine and feminine energy. But if a guy is not great looking, but has confidence, has this drive, like he takes the lead, this is what we want. We want a guy who knows where he's going, who is in the driver's seat of his life, who's got goals and things and ambitions. That's what we like. I like you. They're just people who don't want to work on themselves. Yeah, and like that's fine. If someone doesn't work on themselves, let them. That's a mistake I was making in the beginning when I discovered it. When I discovered the limiting beliefs, I'm like, what? Like what? Why has no one told me about it? Why I haven't heard about it before? This is like mind blowing, you know. And as I learned it, I was like, I'm going to change the world. So I would tell my friends about it. I would just bother my boyfriend. No, and I'm like, babes, you need to change that. You can't talk like this. And it drives people mad because they don't want to change. Like, you have to let people be, you know. So I'm doing it on Instagram. Whoever wants to see it and hear it, great. But I'm not there imposing my thoughts and things on my friends because people don't want to hear that they need to change. The good thing is, like, once you change yourself, and again, it's a topic for another time, you will attract different people. Oh, I have a really good example of like how two types of perception change the experience. So recently, we're in a car with my boyfriend driving, and there's this guy, and he's like waving. I'm like, oh look, how nice of him. You know, he's waving, he's letting you in. Like, what a nice guy. And my boyfriend's like, oh, he's actually showing the middle finger because I did something there. And like, so in my world, in my little bubble, world is great. People are supportive, they're friendly, they're waving at me. But in my boyfriend's side, it's like, no, he's rude and angry and he just wants to revenge. And obviously we don't know. The situation is subjective, but it's just funny how the perception of things and what you believe to be true about the world and people can really shape your experience. Anyways, if you fancy working on those things with me, I invite you, I welcome you. It's I don't want to say it's a super speed process, but it's a sped up process versus what you can do on your own. So come work with me, we can do 4 sessions and we can have a lot of fun and change your life for the better. And again, it's a different story for everyone. So even if you have two kids in the same upbringing, they can turn up completely differently because it's not what the parents did, but it's how we read it as children. Leah, what's there? The fact that, from my POV, the fact is that look is not the main factor because there are different types of beauty. Exactly. Everyone will find their person. Like, that's another thing. I am a super firm believer that everybody will find their person. Like, you can, 100%. No matter what the past is. So sorry. Like, that must be so gross. It's a good old COVID. So no matter what your story is, what your past is, everybody can find their person. 100%. And I wouldn't do what I'm doing if I didn't like truly deeply believe in that. Because once you change, once your energy changes, you're gonna start seeing different people. If there are no other questions, we're 32 minutes. I could talk about it. Like, I could talk about it for hours, but I respect your time, and I guess it's dinner time in many houses. So that's it for me. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm gonna be doing this more often, I think, because it's cool to see you guys. Yeah, that's it. All right. Love you lots, and I'll see you next time. How do I disconnect this thing? There.